Forces beyond your control can take away everything you possess except one thing: your freedom to choose how you will respond to the situation. At such a moment, it is not the physical pain which hurts the most. It is the mental agony caused by the injustice, the unreasonableness of it all. When a man cannot find meaning, he numbs himself with pleasure. God is the partner of your most intimate soliloquies. Once man's search for meaning of life is successful, it not only renders him happy, but also gives him the capability to cope with suffering. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. I do not forget any good deed done to me, and I do not carry a grudge for a bad one. I understood how a man who has nothing left in this world still may know bliss, be it only for a brief moment, in the contemplation of his beloved. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing. The last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Life is not primarily a quest for pleasure, as Freud believed, or a quest for power, as Alfred Adler taught, but a quest for meaning. The greatest task for any person is to find meaning in his or her life. Those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how. We needed to stop asking about the meaning of life, and instead, think of ourselves who were questioned by life, daily and hourly. Our answer must consist in right conduct. Life ultimately means taking the responsibility to find the right answer to its problems, and to fulfill the tasks which it constantly sets for each individual. Man does not simply exist, but always decides what his existence will be. But there was no need to be ashamed of tears, for tears bore witness that a man had the greatest of courage, the courage to suffer. The attempt to develop a sense of humor and to see things in a humorous light is some kind of a trick learned while mastering the art of living. If you dedicate yourself to a cause, they say success will follow. For the world is in a bad state, but everything will become still worse, unless each of us does his best. An abnormal reaction to an abnormal situation is normal behavior. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Love is the only way to grasp another human being in the innermost core of his personality. Happiness cannot be pursued. It must ensue. And it only does so as an unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself. View life as a series of movie frames. The ending and meaning may not be apparent until the very end of the movie. And yet, each of the hundreds of individual frames has meaning within the context of the whole movie. Even when it is not fully attained, we become better by striving for a higher goal. No man should judge, unless he asks himself, in absolute honesty, whether in a similar situation, he might not have done the same. Challenging the meaning of life is the truest expression of the state of being human. Ever more people today have the means to live, but no meaning to live for. There is nothing in the world, I venture to say, that would so effectively help one to survive even the worst conditions, as the knowledge that there is a meaning in one's life. By making him aware of what he can be, and of what he should become, he makes these potentialities come true. The meaning of life is to help others find the meaning of theirs. There are two races of men in this world: the decent man and the indecent man. Fear makes come true that which one is afraid of. It did not really matter what we expected from life, but rather, what life expected from us. In the long run, I say, success will follow you precisely because you had forgotten to think about it. If there is a meaning in life at all, then there must be a meaning in suffering. Suffering is an ineradicable part of life, even as fate and death. Without suffering and death, human life cannot be complete. We can discover this meaning in life in three different ways. 1. By doing a deed. 2. By experiencing a value. And 3. By suffering. Man is capable of changing the world for the better if possible, and of changing himself for the better, if necessary. Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. You don't create your mission in life, you detect it. Love goes very far beyond the physical person of the beloved. It finds its deepest meaning in his spiritual being, his inner self. Whether or not he is actually present, whether or not he is still alive at all, ceases somehow to be of importance. Decisions, not conditions, determine what a man is. Faith is trust in ultimate meaning.